Social Security, Fraud Measures and Debt Recovery Amendment Bill introduction.
That bill is set down for first reading. The House comes to questions for oral answer. Question number 1 is in the name of Todd McClay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Finance, what reports has he received on the government's financial position?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Finance, I received the Treasury's financial statements for the 6 months to the end of December. They show a $3.19 billion operating deficit before gains and losses for the first 6 months of the financial year. That deficit is $158 million lower than forecast by Treasury in its half-year update, primarily reflecting lower expenditure than was forecast. The Crown's operating balance recorded a surplus of $1.7 billion, which is $2.3 billion higher than forecast. The result confirms the government is maintaining a track to surplus through careful fiscal management.
Supplementary question, Todd McClay.
Supplementary to the Minister. What were the main factors behind the government's latest financial results?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Finance, the statements show core Crown expenses at 0.8% below forecast. Core Crown revenue is 0.1% below forecast. Lower expenditure reflects moderate underspends across most departments, which total around $87 million, and delay in 2 complex treaty settlements until later in the year, making up the difference. Core Crown tax revenue was $31 million less than forecast, or 0.1%, reflecting various overs and unders, including a higher than expected individual tax take and higher source deductions associated with labour earnings growth. The operating balance was boosted by investment gains from New Zealand's superannuation and ACC funds. The figures show the government is in control of new spending and getting better results from existing programs.
Supplementary question, Todd McClay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What steps has the government taken to manage its finances and get back to surplus?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Finance, the government has put spending and revenue initiatives in place to balance the books. On the spending side, we've delivered 2 consecutive budgets showing 0 net new expenditure, while maintaining increases in health and education spending. We've launched the Better Public Services program and reprioritised $4.4 billion over 4 years to ensure New Zealanders will see better results without new resources. On the revenue side, the government has increased income while improving the fairness of the tax system by shutting down loopholes. These things include tightening the tax treatment of property, increasing GST, making it harder for people to avoid paying tax through trusts, and making resources available for inland revenue to target tax avoidance.
Supplementary question, Todd McClay.
What alternative proposals has he seen for managing the government's finances?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Finance, I've seen any number of alternative proposals. These measures include putting a capital gains tax on every productive business and farm, encouraging tax avoidance by increasing the gap between the top personal income and company tax rates, discouraging all sorts of private investment in the New Zealand economy, printing money and so on. And that is the Greens' Labour prescription for the New Zealand economy.
Question number 2, Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Prime Minister, does he stand by all his statements?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.